welcome to my Buyer's Remorse and Declutter video. Today I pulled aside all of my decks that I actually regret buying, and I'll go through the reasons why as we go. So I will start off with, maybe I'll start off with some Oracle decks first. So we have this Oracle deck. I'm trying to actually even remember what it's called. I will look it up and have it in the description. This is the deck that I have. I'll just show you a few of them. So it's just an Oracle card, which is actually a fake Oracle card. It's not bad quality, to be honest. I think maybe the pictures could be slightly clearer. I think it's all right to use. I just find myself not really drawn to it, and I don't know if it's because I'm biased, because I know it's a fake deck, so now I don't want to use it. Because I did buy all my fake decks at the start when I wasn't really aware of what's a true deck and what isn't. It does have a nice gilding finish to it, but yeah, this one I do regret buying. It is a fake deck, and I just don't really reach out for it. A lot of people probably find, it's very pretty. So what I'm going to decide to actually do, as I go through these cards, I'm actually going to also let you know which ones I'm going to declutter, and this is going to be one of them. So another one that I have, which is an Oracle, is this one here, Queen of the Moon Oracle. So this is actually a beautiful deck. Again, a fake deck. And again, the imagery is just that bit darker. It's really, it's quite bright in here, so you can see it a bit better, but to, the naked eye, it's not as bright, and it's quite difficult to make out even here, trying to see what it says. Obviously not the bigger writing, but the smaller detail. Again, beautiful card deck. I would actually love to own the real deck, but I've tried using this one, and it just, as soon as the quality of the imagery is not quite right. Look how dark that is. Can't really, I know it's supposed to be in the dark, but you can't really make it out. This one's not so bad, but it's just a bit fuzzy as well. So again, another one that I would be rehoming. See if there is any others. Yes, I do. So I have the Romance Angels. Again, another fake deck. Now look, I keep saying fake decks, and it does have lovely gilding. It has had the gilding done to it as well. I actually think that if you're like me, you like to spend a lot of money on tarot, sometimes it could be a good idea, if you're not sure about a deck, to maybe purchase one of these, because they are, they are fairly cheap. And if you find that you're still drawn to them, then at least they can kind of know, hey, this might be worth me buying. So here are the cards here. Again, very fuzzy. It's very, very bendy, very bendy. Not much cardstock to it. But in saying that, being that bendy, obviously you'd be able to shuffle these really well. I'll give them a quick shuffle so you can have a look. And when it comes to this deck, so it shuffles nicely. When it comes to this deck, it's really actually hard to purchase the original deck because it's out of print. So I think this is kind of the only option for people that I know of and at the moment, but it could still do a good enough job, and you can still see the imagery. It's just a bit blurry, and at least they've done some nice touches with the gilding as well. So I've got three more oracles to go through. So the next one is the Animal Spirit. This is just another buy. I didn't know that I was getting a fake. I kind of bought several decks at the same time and learnt my lesson. And another thing I suppose that I can show you. So this is a lovely oracle deck, and it's actually beautiful. This is actually really good quality. It's just obviously not the original. I may actually hold on to this one. I mean, I'll show you the difference between this and a normal standard tarot card. So this is standard. So it is significantly smaller. But to be honest, even the backing, you know, it's fairly good. Yeah, again, you know, there's a lot of bend to it, but it does make it easier to shuffle. So, and I think because there's not, I mean, there is color to it, but it's not as detailed as these other decks. You could probably get away with using a fake deck if you wanted to. So, to be honest, I think I'd keep this one. I don't know if I would ever invest in the originals. I'm not sure. I think this does the job for me. The only thing is with this fake, obviously you don't get a lovely guidebook, but they do have somewhere, I'm pretty sure. There you go. So if you scan that QR code, it takes you to the books. So that's not bad, really. So I probably would keep that one. I'll quickly jump back, sorry guys, but I'll probably rehome the Romance Angels, and I'll also rehome the Queen Moon Oracle, because I'd actually like to buy the original for that. So just make sure I don't forget that as we're going. Another oracle that I have is the Reverie deck. Again, I don't think this is fake, actually. I think, well, it might be. Look, sorry, it's a good way to actually find out if it's fake or not is the kind of box it comes in. So if you've got an original, they usually come in these lovely hard cases, and you know, very nice quality, sturdy. Whereas if you're getting the fake one, it's going to look like this. So I am going to turn that down a little bit. So these cards are good fun, but I just find that I actually don't use them. I've tried using them a few times. I had a bit of a laugh, but I don't consistently use them, and so I think it's time for them to find a new home. Alright, and so new home, I'll put them here on the right, and the ones I'm keeping, I'm going to put them at the top floor so I can make sure I remember. Here's another oracle. So this is a Practical Witches spell deck. This is an original. Again, you can tell, nice box. Comes with a little guidebook. Another indication. Not all, I mean, there's some indie decks out there that don't come with a guidebook. I hate this plastic, by the way. It's terrible. So here's the backs of them. They are gilded as well, as you can see. It's a very thick deck, and so in here it has different types of spells. that you could add to a reading, or if you have a ritual that you like to do, you know, it's a good addition to that. And yeah, it's just, I don't use this. I really don't use this. And I'm not drawn to it either. Maybe there's more people interested in doing spell work. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this in my declutter pile and going to rehome this deck as well. So if anybody's actually interested, you know, let me know in the comments. Happy to try and arrange something for these decks, find them new homes, because it's a shame to get rid of them. It's wasteful as well. And my last deck here is the astrology reading cards. So again, original. It has a nice magnetic case. I think so did the Practical Spell Witches. It comes with a astrology guidebook, which is actually, you know, it's actually really good and well written, and it's full color. It is really well done. Lots of information in there. And I got this deck to help me, I suppose, get to know the zodiac signs, find out, you know, what their energies are, what they are about, but also, so you've got Aquarius there, Scorpio, Cancer, Virgo. So you go through them all, but then it also has planets, you know, and I suppose what I wanted to show you, so Uranus, Mercury, and it has a little, your physical energy, drive, strength, and fighting spirit is Mars, which is like spirit, I'm pretty sure spirit of war, Vesta. So it is good. And then you also talk about the houses. I probably still haven't wrapped my head around the houses just yet. But it's, you know, it has everything there. It's really good, like prompts. It really does help you try and remember. So it is actually a really good deck. The backs of the card differ depending on what it is. So the planet cards, the house cards, I think these ones are the zodiac signs. So they do differ. You can spread them out. What I've done in the past, I've kind of got one planet, one zodiac, just at random. And then it would be like, well, let's talk about what's happening for such and such zodiac sign and what the houses and planets add to the story. So it does add information. Look, it is a really good deck. I do like it, but this is going to be finding a new home. Now, another deck I have, I think this is called the Everyday Witch. This is another fake. I did actually colour that in, it doesn't come like that. Again, very thin, size of the cards, as you can see, still very small. So what I like to do is if I have a reading, I actually don't mind using a smaller card to actually clarify that the main card. That's what I like to do anyway. The quality of these cards are actually quite good. They're not blurry, they're not dark. So if you wanted a cheaper version of the Everyday Witch, it's not a bad alternative. It really isn't. I did actually enjoy playing with these cards a lot, and I might keep these, or will I? The thing is, I don't use them anymore, and the reason I'm going to keep the animal spirits is because I actually don't have that many oracles. I have so many tarot decks, you know. So, look, I'm going to put this in the I'm not sure yet pile. I'm not sure if I'm going to let that go. Maybe another time. Let's pop that over there. the next deck then will be the Crystal Unicorn Tarot. So you tell me, is this an original or a fake? Let me know in the comments. So this is the back of them, very cute. I really like the vibrant colors. And so you can go through each of these. Again, a little bit blurry, but it is a fun deck. And if you really like those pastel colors, it's fantastic. And I know there's a lot of people out there that absolutely love unicorns. So this deck, yeah, I'll show you size comparison. I wonder if it's the same size as the other two. It's even smaller. So again, this, so I'll get this card out. Let's bring out a few cards. Oh, look at that. The horses have come out to greet the unicorns. So if you, I don't know why I'm shuffling. Habit. But it does add it is a nice clarification card, and it's so light, so fluffy and magical that it's just a delight. Now with these cards, again, you know, very, very thin. Ooh. So with these cards, yeah, I think, do you know why I actually bought these ones? I thought to myself, because this deck I actually bought after my haul, because this was the deck that I kind of went, I'll get the cheaper version and decide if it's worth investing. It's like I think it's like 60 Australian dollars. That's a lot of money for a tarot card, whereas I paid $10 for this. So I'm just there going, if I really liked it, then I'd invest. And I do appreciate it. It is good art, and you know, and I love the colors. I'm a sucker for colors, but for some reason I'm just not drawn to use this deck. So I'm really glad that I only spent $10 and decided, no, this isn't for me, and not buying the original. And it doesn't take away from Pamela Chen, because there's a lot of people out there that would love that art. So this one's going. Another tarot that I have is this one here, which comes with a little guidebook. To be honest, I think this is a real deck, and the only reason I say I think it's because it did come in a cardboard, but I think that's a cardboard box, but I think that's the only way it does come. So this is Tarot of Sexual Magic. It comes with a little book, you know, a little bit of detail there for each of the signs. Not too much information. I also colored these in red. Obviously I had lots of time, but anyway, I do love my cards, and or turn them the right way. So this is actually not a bad card deck. I do like using it for love readings, so it's turned upside down. But I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this or not. Will I keep it? Does it add? It can add more information to a story. Sorry, by the way, if you can hear my neighbors. I did quickly just try and close the door. It's a beautiful sunny day. Everybody's, if they're not working, out in their yard having barbecues here down under. I don't know. I think I might keep it just so that I have a deck like that. I don't have, that's my only deck that I have like that kind of nudity, and it's all about, like, you know, that sexual magic. So that's the only one I do have of that, so I probably will keep that one. Now, this is another tarot deck, the Tarot Reconnected with You. I don't think many people have this deck. The book is well done. Oh, sorry, you can't see. The book is well done, and it's got some beautiful art in there. I think the downside for me, and by the way, this is an original deck as well, but the downside for me is the pips. I will show you what I mean. So I grab these, and doesn't look at this. This is really poor quality. They put quite a bit of work into this book, right? They seem to have done a good enough job in the book. They put it in this paper crappy box that's falling apart, and this is a new deck for me. So you probably need to put it in the pouch. And then I'll talk about the pips in a minute, because that's going to really rile me up. But anyway, the backs of them are, you know, they're fairly nice. There's, you know, they're quite pretty, I would say. So you have all the major arcanas are quite nicely done, but it's just when it comes to the minors. So, you know, you have the Queen of Swords, so good, at least you do have a person there being represented, the King of Swords. You know, so I reckon there's a lot of people out there that love pips, and I reckon somebody out there would really love this deck. And I just feel like, for me, I'm not too into decks. Not decks. I retract that. I'm not too into pips. You know, but it is quite interesting. I don't think I have seen a deck like this before. You know, it seems to be like an outer space kind of deck. Just too many pips for me, and I like to have a little bit more than just pips. But you know, Ace of Cups, that's all right, that's fine. Yep. So Knight of Cups, that's a nice knight. You know, it's really Queen of Wands, the Emperor. Well, let's turn these around. You know, so you've got the Emperor there, Hierophant, the Owl. You know, the Lovers, and it's like two cats looking at each other in the shape of a love heart, which is nice. You know, there's your the Chariot, so you're going to go to the moon, and there's an alien ship too. So look, for those who like pips, I reckon this would be a big hit. I'm not going to use this deck. I'm really not going to use it, and not that I do have some decks that do have pips, but it has to blow me away, and the pips haven't blown me away, unfortunately. The card quality, yeah, it's all right. It's still quite thin. You know, let's see, this one here, the Chris Anne one, does have a bit of bend to it. I wonder if you can even see the difference. You can, you know, see that the Chris Anne one's slightly thicker, you know, so it does have a bit more. I do this. So that I'm doing with ease. This I actually have to push, and I don't really want to do that to my card because it might get stuck like that. And look, it shuffles well. Hold on, let's do the shuffle so you can see. There we go. It shuffles beautifully. If I owned this deck and I loved the pips, I probably would do the edging. Let me put it back in the crap box. But other than, you know, other than the pips, that's just a preference. The guidebook's really good, and obviously other than the crappy box, it's not a bad deck. But this is actually going for rehoming, because it's just going to be a waste staying with me. So I'll pop it to the side. My last deck is the Wandering Moon Tarot. Now, I actually backed this on Kickstarter, and I can't say I regret doing that, because I don't. It's a woman that is from Australia. She only lives about an hour away from me. So I kind of wanted to support somebody from here, you know, where I live. And the quality is really good. It's, you know, this is lovely, very well done. I don't think you can see it in the camera, or maybe a little bit, but all the little specks shine a little bit. The tarot book itself isn't that great. There's really not much description in there. I would have liked to have seen a bit more description. But anyway, look, if you are already familiar with tarot, you know, you can just work away with it and base it off your, your intuition. Otherwise, I would have liked, I do like guidebooks that have a bit more information than that, and the creator's interpretation of the cards, because I just feel like it adds so much more to a story. I'll pop them aside. So these are the backs. Again, a little bit shiny, don't know if you can see that. And look at the gilding. You know, you've got that holographic rainbow, I'm trying to see, rainbow, oh, there we go, gilding. Lovely cardstock. Again, really good. I'd say it's about 300, 350 grams. So let's go through the cards. You're probably there going, oh, why did you buy this? It's already looking like a pip deck, and you bought it and you know you don't like pips. I do like some pips, and this was a beautiful card, and I just wanted I did want a black and white deck because I didn't have one, and since I backed this, I actually bought the El Goliath deck, and that is magnificent. I love that deck. This deck, I'm not going to take away from it. There are some beautiful art in these cards, absolutely stunning. I mean, look at that. I think the Hierophant is one of my favorites. Let's see if we get there. The Magician, High Priestess, the Empress. So it makes sense. It does make sense. The Emperor, love it. Hierophant, the Lovers. I mean, you can look at these cards and know what they are. Chariot, the Hermit. I love that card. It's gorgeous, isn't it? So I'll go through. So once I get through, I'll just quickly flip through these major arcanas. The Tower, the Star, the Moon. Okay. So they do have different named things. They have like the Ace of Stars. I would actually have to have a quick flip through to tell you what stars. Ace of Water, Three of Wands, Moons. Well, you'd actually have to quickly read up to, okay, you have Swords. So you have Moons. So swords will be swords and wands will be wands, but the moons and the stars will be either pentacles or cups. And I get the feeling stars are going to be cups. Come on, where are the stars? So there we go. No, so it says Two of Stars. I am the card of juggling. So stars are pentacles. There we go. So the moons are cups, which could make sense as well, because you think of moon and you know how it rises the water within. So, you know, there could be some depth that you can get there. So I'm just going to flick through these quickly. Well done deck, beautiful. It is definitely, I think it's too harsh to say my regret. Oh, look at that. Definitely too harsh to say regret. I don't regret buying this. I do have buyer's remorse because I just don't reach out to it. So this is another deck that I will be trying to find a new home. It needs to be rehomed and find somebody who loves pips as much as I love, I suppose, non-pip decks, but colourful decks maybe, as much as I love colourful decks, because it is a shame. I hate seeing it here not being used. I mean, you can see it's like in perfect condition. I've not used this deck. It's just not for me. And that's it. So what I will do is I'll put the details on the card in the description, and if there is a deck that you are interested in, let me know, and you know, we can try and rehome these decks. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you around. Bye.